And by these 12 principles I live my code. Hey, I came up with a code for life today, and I didn't even come up with it at all. It's literally the 12 principles of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I don't see any reason why I don't make it my code. And I started today. Hi, my name is James. I'm a grateful recovering addict and alcoholic. This is my channel. I stream here weekdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I gotta change that right now, if I might. Don't ask me why I'm talking like this. Or do. You can do whatever you want. You're a free being. Hey, Noah. Oh, I'm glad to be seen, man. How are you doing? Why don't you comment again so the viewers can see what we're talking about. It's good to see you as well, Noah. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what's current. Tonight we're going to be talking about these, right here, 12 principles of AA. They are coherent with the 12 steps. Let's just run them down. Honesty, hope, surrender, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, love, responsibility, discipline, awareness, service. Wait, I didn't think 11 was awareness. Oh, 11 should be spirituality. Noah, I've been horrible. I've been having 10 drinks a day almost for 6 days, and I'm stopping tonight. Well, that sucks, mate. I'll ask you the same thing I asked you before. And I already know the answer. Are you going to AA meetings? Digital Soldier, I'm so tired of AA, even though I'm a Christian and I believe in God. It's just difficult because every single day I go through this pain of wanting to drink. It gets harder and harder. Well, which are you more tired of? AA or drinking? That's your choice. I'm so tired of AA, even though I'm a Christian and I believe in God. It's just difficult. You don't have to be a Christian to be in AA. You just have to have a power greater than yourself. It's very simple. Right now, alcohol is your higher power. All you have to do is switch it to AA. Let's run down the principles and what they mean. Honesty. The principle. I'm making these my code. I see absolutely no reason to live by any other thing other than the blueprint set out for life for me. I don't need to make any decisions. If what I'm doing is honest, you know what I'm saying? You can apply these principles to anything in life. And I've already made and it's already working to my favor. Due to my false alcohol mind saying I can do this again, but it's just worse. Well, there you go, bro. With honesty, hope, surrender, courage, integrity. Wait. Surrender? The third one is faith. Okay, so let me take those down. I don't know. 3 is faith. Or surrender, I guess. You surrender your will. Your will. You got to get rid of your will. Digital Soldier, Noah, your will is getting you drunk. Your will is saying you hate AA. What do you know? My life was saved when I asked myself, what do I know? I was agnostic, bro, until 7 months ago. Because I asked myself the simple question, what do I know? And the answer was, ain't shit. You know what I mean? The answer is always going to be ain't shit if you're honest. which is the first principle. It is a God of our understanding. That's all it is. AA doesn't require Christianity, Buddhism. It doesn't care. As long as you are not your God anymore. The problem with humans, and I'm going to say humans and not just alcoholics, but all humans, is we were born to run on our own will. We think we're the shit. We're taught anything we put our mind to, we can accomplish. That is wrong. That is wrong. It might sound nice. It might be good for Gatorade commercials and shit, but it is wrong. We are not God. There is not one single one of us in 8.8 billion of us that is the be-all, end-all, alpha, omega. We don't know it all. We can't do it all. We know very little, and we can do very little. Humility is principle number 7. What up, JV? Hello, Miss Ford. And Digital Soldier, which one are you tired of more? Not being able to control your drinking, or Alcoholics Anonymous? Because they're in a race. One will take precedent over the other. And, well, alcoholism is not pretty. It's progressive. And it will get very ugly. And you'll end up surrendering to AA's suggestions in prison. Or on your deathbed. You'll be like, you know what? Maybe they were right. There's tons of AA in prison. Started drinking on vacation. Well, this was around the last time. Around this time last year, I realized I was drinking with you on vacation. Noah says, I'm currently drinking lemon water for some electrolytes just because I'll be restless. Digital sober. Don't say that. I have to say it. It's the truth. My code is number 1, honesty. This is literally my life code. Honesty, hope, surrender, courage. Not surrender, but faith or surrender. Faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, love. Number 9 is discipline. Oh, wait. Yeah. Number 9 is perseverance. Number 10 is discipline. Number 11 is spirituality. And number 12 is service. Let's just, this one's wrong. I don't know why it's up there. John Venturini's tired of hospitals. I'll be honest with you there, whether the gallbladder or the MS exasperation. That took place because they removed my gallbladder. Lemon water, Bonnie likes it. Noah, what you're doing is courageous. Stopping drinking tonight, that's principle number 4, courage. You're honestly done with, you're honestly powerless over alcohol. You have surrendered because you have hope, courage. With integrity, you will behave like you say, like you want to. You be the man that you say you are. There's no predicting what the alcohol has been doing to your body for 6 days, brother. I doubt lemon juice and melatonin can fix it. But I'll tell you what. Spirituality will. Doing the next right thing will. Praying to God will. A God of your understanding. Doing anything other than about yourself will help you fall asleep. Discipline, service for another alcoholic. I was cleaning today, Michael said, and found an old vodka bottle with some still in it. Well, I hoped you continued cleaning and poured it down the drain. The mind will, connection will, vulnerability, and surrender will. The mind will not. The mind will not. Our mind is part of the problem. Our mind, our will, our thinking. No one here, and no one that is can think our way out of this. You can't think your way to a good life. We have to live our way to good thinking. Our minds will be clear after we start practicing the principles in all of our affairs. Well, this is what I'm doing. I mean, you guys don't have to do it. This is all a suggestion. Most people take it when they're desperate enough. Because the alcoholic is a stubborn one. Good for you, Michael. Because that shit will jump down your throat faster than you can even blink. That's what she said. Noah said, something is changing with alcohol, though. It's starting to feel like water, not even a drug anymore. I didn't even get drunk, really. Damn, dude. That sucks. I hear a lot of seasoned alcoholics talk about that. That's in the last stages. It sucks. Alcohol isn't working for you anymore. You need something else. Guess what that is? More times than not, we stand to be on the short end of the stick when we are clean, when we are doing the damn thing. We have a shot with the mind. Our minds are our enemy. Our minds are our enemy. The more we think of others, the more we give it to God, the less we think, the better. That's why prayer and meditation is in the steps. Thank you, Digital Soldier. I'm gonna need that. I got a job, so I won't be streaming Saturdays or Sundays anymore. It'll only be weekdays. I gotta change that. I thought that as well, JV. I'm on your team, or I was, until I figured out, or until I was taught that that is not it. Our ideas got us here. They're not going to get us out. Our ideas lie to us in our own voice. So, no, not for me at least, and not for, and not, that's not my understanding of alcoholism. A sick mind cannot fix a sick mind. A spiritually awake mind, like I just said, I am living these principles like they are my code now. None of these principles I was born with. I wasn't born or raised, or I didn't wake up with these principles this morning. I didn't shoot out of bed and just be like, I'm going to be as honest, hopeful, and have as much faith and courage and integrity, willingness, humility. No. My ego said, I want to lie to get what I want. I dread everything. There's no hope, so I'm like beating my conscience into the ground. I have no faith in anything other than my own ideas. I don't like this some of the principles are easy to understand than others, and I don't like this one. Maybe it's Maybelline. I was born with alcoholism. Man, now I want to get those 12 principles up there, but those, instead of surrender is faith. Instead of responsibility is perseverance. instead of awareness is spirituality. Have you ever drank enough that you felt like people are watching you that aren't there? I came to from a blackout once in a room full of people that were vanishing in front of me. So it was like I was coming out of a dream and I was in a room. I didn't know how I got there, but as I was coming to, there was people that I was just talking to all in the room and they were vanishing in front of me. And I was like, damn, I am up. So yes, in so many words. There's other times that I can't even tell you because I wasn't there. I was in a blackout. Dark thoughts. It gets worse, bro. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. It will tear you limb from limb. Spiritually, physically, mentally, all those limbs. Gone. Your mental limbs, your spiritual limbs, your physical limbs, sure. There's paraplegics in everywhere from drugs and alcohol. But let's begin. The first step of Alcoholics Anonymous, realizing we were powerless over alcohol and our lives had become unmanageable. Noah, it doesn't seem like you're there yet. Digital soldier, by your own words, you're not there yet. This is when you're so sick and tired of being so sick and tired that you acknowledge your powerlessness over alcohol, and that your lives would come unmanageable. The second principle is hope. The second step is came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that could restore us to sanity. That's a power greater than ourselves. You know what I'm saying, JV? That's not our thoughts. That's not our best ideas. That's not our drawing table. It's a power greater than our best ideas. It's a power greater than our best drawing table plans. Every time we went back to the drawing table about alcohol, we got our face in the dirt and we wondered how we got there. It's because we're powerless over alcohol. Hope means we came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. Once you realize that Alcoholics Anonymous is the dawn of sobriety, you have hope. The universe, the vulnerability and surrender, I agree. But I have to give faith to my mind when it is working. Sure, I think we're talking about very subtly different concepts, though. Faith in ourselves, faith in our mind is what got us here. And it'll be slick. It'll build and build and build before the only thing you can think of is yourself and your own ideas and your own opinions. My spirituality is expanding like a universe, infinitely expanding and growing. Just today, I made the principles my code. None of the principles say self-confidence. None of the principles say intelligence. None of the principles say, self-will. How do I find something more powerful and greater than me? I believe in God, but I still relapse. Alcoholics Anonymous is more powerful than you. Take it from me, someone who has been running on my own will, my own ideas, and my bet. And I'm intelligent, so I realize I'm intelligent. But I've been called intelligent. Do people stare at me when I talk and shit? When I was in jail, I would just say some things and people would just be like, why the hell are you even in here? So I'm just saying that to be like, Dog Mom, what up? How do I find a bunch of stories? Bro, you go to AA. That's how you find it. I've been telling you that. You have to surrender to that idea. You have to surrender to the fact. You have to have faith in what I'm saying and not what you're thinking. When you get your face in the dirt by alcohol so many times, you will finally be able to do that if you're not dead or in prison. Well, you can do it in prison. Many people do. AAOIA Coda is more powerful than you. Correct. I get drunk. We get sober. That's a very simple answer to your question, Noah. A power greater than you, you get drunk. We get sober. You know where you find we? In an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. So that's a very simple conceptual answer to your question. How do I find a power greater than me? Well, if you don't believe you're if you don't believe you're powerless over alcohol, just keep drinking. You're going to keep drinking and you're going to keep drinking. If you don't die or go to prison and have the chance and the grace of God to be able to make it to an AA meeting, you will. So have the faith in what I'm saying and not the faith in your own ideas. Your own ideas keep getting you drunk. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you're stupid. It's because you're an alcoholic. We have a self-will run riot. It's no life on self-will can ever be successful. It says it right in the big book, and I found it to be true. I'm not just taking these things because I've found them to be true through my experience. David Hopper says benzos and booze. I used to use a balancing act in that insane area. Me too, brother. 9 years later, with you guys' help, I now manage brain, body, spirit. Right. I get drunk. We get sober. Every step starts with we. We realize we're powerless over alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable. It doesn't say I came up with this brilliant idea that I'm powerless over alcohol and my life has become unmanageable. It says we. There is a ton of we in the big book. There's a ton of we in the principles and in the steps. I get drunk. Noah gets drunk. AA stays sober. That's a very simple concept to just look at. Noah gets drunk. AA stays sober. Pat Crawford in the house. Good to see all y'all. Bonnie, David Hopper, Pat, Noah, Michael. It's good to see you all, and it's good to be seen. Number 3 is faith or surrender. Faith. We handed our will over to the care of God as we understood Him. We handed our will and our life over to the care of God as we understood Him. That means you no longer do what you want. You may think you want stuff, but you just give it up. You do not know what you want. What you want gets you drunk. The care of God as you understand Him. Tell me if you say God's will be done, is the answer going to come back to you, okay, get drunk. That will never happen. If you say God's will be done, if you say, God, what do you want me to do right now? The answer in your mind is never going to be like, get freaking wasted and go driving drunk on the highway. That's never God's will, bro. Faith without works is dead. Right. You can have faith all you want, but if you don't actively stop using your own ideas and start using the ideas presented in AA, then you'll be dead. faith is not going to work. You ever hear the story about the guy? He was in a flood, Louisiana. He was on his top of his house. The flood had gotten up to the gutters. So he was on his roof of his house, and he said, "Dear God, my faith is in you. I have faith in you that you will save me." A boat came by, offered him a ride. He said, "No, I have faith. I have faith in God." The boat went on. A helicopter came, threw a rope down, he said, "Nope, I have faith in God, so I'm going to just chill." So the helicopter left. The dude drowned, the dude died. He got up to the pearly gates. He said, "God, I had faith in you and I still died." And he said, "Bro, I sent a boat and I sent a helicopter. Where were you?" Faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? That guy, he's like, "I got faith in God." Be gone, helicopter. Be gone, boat. God's like, "Bro, I sent you a boat and a helicopter, and you ended up drowned." Let's do something about it until you get into legals. Not sure what that benzos and booze, balancing act, weather god. AA is a program of action, correct. There are no don'ts in AA. There isn't any don'ts in the steps. It never says don't drink alcohol. It never says the second step, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't say don't believe in yourself. It's all about do. It's a program of action. There are no don'ts. AA doesn't forbid anything. There's only one requirement, and that is the desire to stop drinking. Honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, love, spirituality, or perseverance, discipline, spirituality, and service. These are the code. This is my code that I'm living with, and it's going to take me to the promised land. As my spirituality grows, as my faith is rewarded. I took a leap of faith. I was an agnostic. I said to my sponsor, I said, "Bro, I need God. How do I do it?" He said, "Do you believe you're God? Do you believe you're the God of the universe?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, stop listening to your ideas." Then he said, "Have you prayed for the willingness to believe?" I said, "No." And he said, "Well, try that." Then he said, What is your conception of God?" And I was like, I believe it's inconceptual, an incomprehensible power that is neither man nor woman or in the image of man. And, I don't believe that if I get cancer, there is no God, because I believe if I get cancer somewhere, somebody else doesn't get cancer. It's a giant world. He's timeless. He's all powerful and incomprehensible. I have no vision of him. He said, "Bet, that's the God of your understanding. Put your faith in an all-powerful God." It was a leap of faith. My faith for 7 months has been continually rewarded, not instantly and not even in the ways that I would like. I'm sitting here, broke as a joke. I continue to spend gas money to go to AA, and all of a sudden now I have a job at a zoo. That's something I used to dream about. I wish I could just be a security guard at a zoo and walk around. Bro, I'm alone at the zoo for 7 hours. I'm locked in the zoo. I'm literally alone. And they pay me to do this, to walk around the zoo 3 times. Other than that, it's an air-conditioned shack. I just landed just a job out of nowhere, just because I was doing the next right thing. It doesn't pay that much money. But now, today, at a traditions meeting, I learned that AA, back in the day, people try to donate $10,000 when they die and shit. AA doesn't accept that. AA decided that they have to remain poor, essentially, to maintain their singleness of purpose, to remain sober and help the other alcoholic. Rockefeller was called in. Rockefeller said, nope, I think I'm not going to donate because you guys are onto something and this will mess up your primary purpose. There was all, back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, there was all kinds of alcoholics with bright ideas to take AA this way and make hospitals, take AA that way. And there was people donating left and right. It turns out that you can't donate more than $2,000 a year to AA or something like that. AA does not accept huge offerings from outside entities. It's in the traditions. Although, and still, it's the most powerful. It's not powerful at all, actually. It has no leaders, but still, it's the most significant method of sobriety for alcoholics. 2 million people strong, and they purposely don't get wealthy. So bro, $13 an hour to sit in a zoo and just chill, probably start writing a blog. That's the beginning of the rest of my life. I have complete faith that if I work on my sobriety, if I spend the gas money to take my ass to AA meetings, I went to 2 today, they take 20 minutes to get. Soon, in my mind's eye, this is my bright idea, so I don't even know, this is probably not going to turn out to be my life, but I want to rent this place out and live downtown where I'm closer to AA meetings. I also want to be a peer support specialist. That came to me in an AA meeting. If I wasn't at the AA meeting, I wouldn't have gotten hooked up with what I needed to pursue that way of life. That also isn't a crap ton of money, but it's not bad. It's not the purpose I'm doing it. The purpose I'm doing it is I think I can really help addicts and alcoholics that need some stuff. I have been gifted with ways to bridge gaps and relate to addicts and alcoholics. I don't care about the money. It's basically minimum wage, and I still don't care. I think that would be... I do host AA meetings. AA meetings are not led by any leaders. They're led by you and I. When it's an act of service. You do service work. In doing service, I get out of myself and I am saved. The patron saint of Saint Francis, he had the prayer of, Lord, make me a channel of thy peace. Where there is error, let me bring truth. Where there is sadness, let me bring, joy. He's all about other people. That's because, and right in the end of that prayer, he says, because the only way to true freedom is through giving yourself away. I could read it, but I do host AA meetings as an act of service. I'm scheduled in July to, some AA meetings will have you sign up for a month, but you don't have to do anything. It is suggested that you do service. It's service. So like, I'll be chairing. It's called chairing a meeting. You're the chairperson of that meeting. You do the topic. You take care of the announcements, and you chair the meeting. There's a book that you go by. It can be any of us. You could chair a meeting. You are encouraged to chair a meeting. It is self-supporting. AA is self-supporting. There are no leaders. There's nobody that tells anybody what to do. That's why I laugh when people call it a cult. It is not. What up, Jamil? Maybe you can do step work on here. I do have a playlist called the AA Steps, and they work. If you go to my live stream podcast playlist, you'll find I just did a week ago. I did step 10 or step 11 or something like that. I started 6 months ago. I've been streaming every day, minus here and there, 1 or 2 here and there. And in the beginning, I started from step 1. I did step 1. I did step 2. I did step 3. I did step all the way into I did all the steps. You can find those steps streams on this channel. There's also a playlist on here. You can find them in my playlists. I have long form videos of the AA steps. I go through them one by one. You can do that. That's my service. AA suggests this. You see down here, principle number 12. What does it say? Principle number 12 says service. The 12th step is, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we carry the message to other alcoholics. It says right in the book, we tried drinking on vacation only. We tried not drinking on vacation. We tried only drinking on vacation. None of it works. There's one total agreement across all theories on alcoholism, and that is abstinence is the only way. Now, how do I maintain that abstinence? The 12 steps. How do I live a good life? The 12 principles. How does Alcoholics Anonymous stay afloat as a non-organization? The 12 traditions. So principles number 7 and 8, humility and love. Actually, principle number 9, number 8 and 9, love and perseverance. It says it says responsibility on this one. 8 and 9, 8 is made a list of all people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them. That is brotherly love. We made a list of all people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them. That is brotherly love. That is principle number 8. Step 9 is we made direct amends to those people, except when to do so would bring them harm. That is responsibility or discipline. These steps over here are kind of different than the ones I have on my phone. I'm going by the ones I have on my phone. Honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, love, discipline, perseverance, spirituality, and service. These are now my code. Nothing I do in any of my affairs from this point on will have anything to do with that go against these principles. And that is spirituality growing. I've been reading about how our first step is spirituality. It doesn't matter if we're broke. It doesn't matter if we're homeless. It doesn't matter if my arm's broken. Our first step is spirituality. I got a chipped tooth. I need money bad. What do? I just keep going to AA meetings. There's no dentist there. There's no job there. At first appearance, there's no job there. But what was there? Someone who hooked me up with I now have a career path and a goal. Because I now talk to my neighbor, because my neighbor Bob, greatest guy in the world, I cursed both of them out, him and his wife, when I was drunk, so they weren't talking to me. But because I'm now on the right path, I was talking to him, he hooked me up with the security gig. Spirituality first, practicing these principles in all our affairs, whether we see it or not, whether we think that we're a fortune teller and we got a crystal ball and I just know that AA I just know that going to AA and practicing these principles is not going to get me a job. I just know it's not going to pay my bills. It's not going to fix my chipped tooth. Guess what I know now? Yes, it will. And if this tooth doesn't get fixed and it falls out and I got a gap tooth, guess what? God's will be done. God's will, not mine. I want my tooth back. I'm going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to get all restless, irritable, and discontent for 5 weeks about my tooth because I want that tooth. That's James's will. James's will get me to a drink. I get drunk. We get sober. My opinions get me drunk. Facts get me to recover. What up, Maverick Capitalist? Yeah, it is. That could be said that your will got your tooth chipped. My chipped tooth came from, you know what I'm saying? Stop joking around, Mike. You don't know if God cares about my tooth or not. Neither do I. But on a leap of faith, I'm going to say God's will be done. For all I know, I will have no tooth for the rest of my life. And in 27 years, I will run into an alcoholic that is missing the same tooth and be just solely because of that, his faith is restored and he gets sober. And then he goes on to help alcoholics long after I die. That's God's will. That's an example of God's will. Me, I'm like, I want my tooth back. I don't want to whistle my entire life when I say S's. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a gap tooth guy. Well, me. What do I know? Nothing. God's will be done. In 27 years, I help another toothless alcoholic solely on the fact that he relates that he's missing the same tooth. And he goes on to help families of alcoholics. That's eternal life. I died, but because I trusted in God's will and went to AA meetings instead of trying to get all that money to fix that tooth and put a gold tooth in there or whatever, do James's will, because I didn't do that, because I said God's will be done, families of alcoholics were helped. God is timeless. And that's just an example. Dog Mom says, AA saved my life, and that's not an exaggeration. 15 months ago, I couldn't go more than 30 minutes without more vodka. That was not me, that was God and AA. Word is bond. My obsession to drink was so great that all my life, if I wasn't drinking, aka if I was at work till 3:30 as an electrician, if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking of drinking. Jobs got in the way of my drinking, so I quit them or I got fired. Drinking didn't get in the way of my jobs. Jobs got in the way of my drinking. When I wrapped my Explorer around a tree, drunk driving, I didn't say, you know what? I got to stop drinking. I said, I got to stop driving. But I didn't. I went on to drink and drive many more times because I'm powerless. My will had no say. Alcohol's will be done. That was how I was living. Alcohol's will be done. Now it's all about God. And I don't even know what God is. I don't even know what I'm doing. The point is, I don't even know where I'm putting my... But the point is, I'm not putting it in my own ideas anymore. I'm definitely not putting it in alcohol. I'm not saying, you know, I need my tooth. I'm not saying, you know, I need my tooth. You know what? I'm not doing any more AA meetings till I get money enough to, you know what I'm saying? Because I spend a lot of money on gas going back and forth to AA meetings. Where does the money come from? It just keeps coming. You guys are signing up for memberships. John Venturini gifted me 5 memberships. It just comes out of nowhere when I'm doing the right thing. I stopped trying to make money off this YouTube channel. The YouTube channel in 2017, 2018, it began by me doing unboxing videos and stuff. I dropped my alcoholism story very honestly and humbly because I was almost giving up on making money, and my views and subscriptions skyrocketed. I unknowingly did the next right thing, and that was an example. That was like a sign from God. I was stressed and depressed. My friends had just closed the restaurant and had no clue how I was going to work, and alcohol made everything worse. Now I'm almost 10 months sober, Tramiel. It's about to get... I hope you go to an AA meeting and get your 12-month medallion and show them... You say, I don't want to go to an AA meeting? Well, F what I want. I'm going to go to the AA meeting to show desperate alcoholics that are homeless and in need with no other way that this thing works. I'm going to go to AA meeting to cheer somebody up. I'm going to go to AA meeting to make coffee. I'm going to go to an AA meeting to carry the message of how I'm a year sober to another alcoholic. I don't want to go to an AA meeting. What do I know? Who am I? Why is the world in my mind revolving around what I want? I'm a tiny, tiny speck. And all of a sudden I think everything I want matters the most? False. The way to eternal life is through giving yourself away. And my little mind makes sense of that by like this. If I give myself away to others, when I die, my self's legacy and my self's effect on that person will help them and go on to help others. And that is eternal life. I won't die. By helping others, I don't die. The essence of me doesn't die. That's how my little brain comprehends that. And that's probably not even, you know what I mean? I'm not even saying I'm right. Put your hope in Jesus Christ and you'll be okay. I don't know Jesus Christ. I've never met him. Have you? What I've met is the rooms of AA, and they say, a God of your understanding. My understanding of God, and this is why I think all of our understandings of God are correct, because he's so vast. If your God is Jesus Christ and that makes sense to you, then that's what you believe in. You take that to the bank. You put all of your faith and your will, you give it over to Jesus Christ and his way, and that's the way. Me, I'm giving my will in my life for now. I mean, AA is a perfect blueprint of what I need to do. Every time I didn't listen, every time I traded one of their suggestions for my bright ideas, I got smashed by alcohol and my own will, the effects of my own will. I mean, jails, institutions, and death. I obviously didn't set out to go to any of those, but that's where my will takes me. God's will, AA's suggestions, the blueprint, the promises, the promises. If I follow them, put my faith in them, and I don't even see how being willing or surrendering can bring me anything good. But guess what? I don't get to see everything. Who said I get to see everything? Who said I get to know the final answer to everything? Who said that? We do. Mankind's ego is so out of control that if we don't know the answer to something, we make up the story and act like we know. If anybody tells you what happens after you die, that just means their ego was too big to admit that they don't know, so they made up a story. Because guess what? Not a single person on earth has ever known what happens after we die. For obvious reasons. You don't have to feel bad for drinking. Just do the next right thing. Bro, I mean, you can hope all you want, but I'm good. I take Jesus's teachings are in these 12 principles, bro. Right here. Tell me that Jesus didn't teach these things. Please tell me with a straight face that Jesus didn't teach all of these things. Surrender. My man surrendered when they put him on the cross. He said, this is y'all's will. I'm not going to fight it. Courage. He faced it with courage. So like, bro, I am following Jesus. Jesus came to me in a different way, and that was AA. You know what I mean? God brought me to AA. Jesus, you could say Jesus brought me to AA, even when I didn't believe in him. And then AA showed me Jesus. So, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do follow Jesus. Jesus is too vast. He doesn't need me to call him Jesus. He doesn't have an ego. God doesn't have an ego. He doesn't need me to call him Jesus. He doesn't need me to say I'm Christian. He doesn't need me to say I'm Buddhist. God is not even a he, in my understanding. It is a vastly incomprehensible, sexless, all-powerful being. I don't even know if it's a being. It could be an essence. It could be all of us or the universe. It doesn't even describe it. Words, mere words, don't describe God. This is my understanding of God as I know it. Jesus is just a modality, a conduit to understand God. Christianity, Buddhism, yogi, they're just all ways to understand God. To be connected to God. To understand God is redundant. It's counter, whatever. Because if we understood God, if we understood the power and we could put them in words and all that, then it's not really a power greater than us, is it? I choose to not know. I choose to admit that I'm not powerful enough to even comprehend God. What does it say in the Bible? If you were to gaze upon me, your head would explode. In so many words, that's my understanding. Is like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't even pretend to know. That's how I practice. That's how I practice spirituality. That's how I understand the whole thing. If you understand the Bible and Jesus, and that's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? God is so vast in my understanding. God is so vast that we're all right. As long as the principles, I got it right that time. As long as the principles are there. Believe there's times I would love to have a glass of bourbon, but I can't. I know what the outcome will be and it won't be good. Word. I'm telling the truth. You may find it unbelievable, but I'm telling the truth. When wanting alcohol hasn't happened to me since I turned my life and my will over to the care of God as I understood him in step 3. And that was 7 months ago. It hasn't crossed my mind. There hasn't been a liquor store I looked at that I said, you know what, I could go in there and it would be awesome. All these problems would be relieved. The obsession has been lifted. It's in the promises of Alcoholics Anonymous. The obsession is gone. But I have done this before, so I know exactly what happens. The less I hand my will over and be of service and do the next right thing and go to AA, the further I get away from AA and the further I get to thinking for myself, the closer I get to a drink. And then all of a sudden the idea comes. You know what? For me, it's like, it's strategic hopelessness. You might as well drink, bro. You're miserable. You know what? Yeah, I'm miserable. I didn't take the suggestions. I didn't go to AA every single time. And it's not just me. People that talk about relapse, there's in their explanation, there will be these words. I had stopped going to Alcoholics Anonymous. They can say my father died, my loved one broke up with me, my dog died, I lost my house, that's why I drank or whatever, but they're going to say these words. I had stopped going to Alcoholics Anonymous like months beforehand. It sounds all nice to you, James, but what if you're wrong? There's a reason why the Bible includes prophecies. It's to prove that hundreds and thousands of years before the Messiah came, he was. What if the Bible's wrong? What if a bunch of dudes got together over the course of 2,000 years, asserted their will, aka men are important, women aren't? That seems to be prevalent in the Bible and Roman Catholicism. AKA slaves are okay, homosexuality is not. That seems to be God, that seems to be man's will, doesn't it? I don't care to prove the Bible wrong. I'm not saying the Bible's wrong. You ask me, what if, bro, you're missing the point. The point is, I had stopped listening to me. I don't know if the Bible's wrong. I don't know if the Bible's right. I have accepted that my ideas are getting me nowhere. To argue would be taking my ideas back. To argue about the Bible with you would be asserting my ideas. I don't know shit. Neither do you, bro. I hate to burst your bubble, be the bearer of bad news, but none of us know shit. We think we know. People walk around masquerading their opinions as facts. We don't know shit. You don't, I don't, we are not God. That's the entire point. So like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? People, go back and forth their entire life arguing about why they're right about spirituality, why the Bible is the only way to go. Get over yourself, man. Your answers are not the be-all, end-all. There is not one of us that has the be-all, end-all answer. I'm telling you, I go to AA, and for 89 years, alcoholics have been going to AA and finding redemption, spirituality, and having a paradigm shift. I'm telling you, that's just what's happening. That's not my opinion. My opinion was FAA. And my opinion was, what is AA going to do to pay my bills? What is AA going to do about all these consequences of my, life and drinking? I had bright ideas about how God probably doesn't exist. And I could run them down. And you'll be like, well, that makes a lot of sense. But what do I know? Very little. Noah, so James, in your opinion, I have nothing to do tomorrow. What should I do after an AA meeting? Go to another AA meeting. Bro, consider AA meeting the flock and consider alcoholism and alcohol the wolves. Stay in AA, you won't get eaten alive. That's my suggestion. You could listen to it, see if it works. Whose dad's basement? Who are you talking to? This ain't my dad's basement. This is my house, bro. I got this house when I got sober in 2016. I spent 8 years. I went to AA for those first 3 years. I got this house. Now I'm fucking having trouble paying for it because I took my will back. You're getting offended because bro, I never went against your beliefs. Jesus is your way. Sure, I have puny little ideas about why the Bible's wrong. Bro, I don't even know. I think I have a Bible. I've never opened it. How can I say anything about the Bible if I don't? The last time I read it was Juvenile Hall 25 years ago. AA keeps religion out of it. AA keeps religion out of it. You want to believe in, it doesn't matter who you believe in, a God of your understanding, hand your will to that and not. To argue about religion, to argue about who's right, is nothing but our own wills arguing, and our own will is stupid, to put it bluntly. We are very limited. We are limited. The God of our understanding is vast. I'm not going to sick my God on your God. You're sicking the Bible on me. I don't care, bro. I don't find redemption in the Bible. I have found redemption in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Bro, if you want to read the Bible, if it works for you, keep doing it. But I'll tell you one thing, if you assert your will and start telling everybody who God is, that's you talking, bro. That's not God. And guess who gets drunk? You. Guess who doesn't get drunk? God. That's my entire point. Why would I talk shit about it? Because I'm asserting my will. What gets us drunk? Our will. I don't get drunk, bro. Where have you been? What? Stop listening to your own arguments and your own bright ideas and your own fights and your own will and your own opinions. And listen. Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth. Well, dude, I haven't drank in 7 months. And before that, I hadn't drank in 8 years. I've been going to AA for 20 years, and I wasn't listening. And this is the insidiousness and the cunningness and the baffling and the powerful nature of our disease. Our own voice takes precedent. Mine no longer does. It will, and it does a lot of the time, to be honest, but with practice. That's why they call it spiritual practice. That's why they call it practicing the principles in all of our affairs. There's only practice. I'm only human, and I'm an alcoholic human. Bro, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. I will take pride in my own will and my own beliefs, and I will argue about the Bible and shit, and I will knock people down. And that's not love. That's not principle number 8. That's not humility. That's not honesty. It's not surrender. It's not service. It's not discipline. So unless I'm practicing these 12 principles in all of my affairs, I will yell at you about the Bible and how much it, could be corrupt by mankind, because my small understanding is a mistrust of mankind. And to me, it's very obvious. There's been 2,000 years since that Bible, 2,024 years since that Bible, and 2,024 years since Jesus Christ. There's one very prevalent question. How do we even know that Jesus Christ existed? So these are my ideas. These are my bright ideas. So if you call them stupid, you're proving my point. We don't need to go by our own ideas anymore because we don't know shit. This is just a very small part of my opinion. And I stopped that opinion. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, Buddha, Dharma, motherfucking the Pink Panther. I don't care. I don't care who you worship, as long as you don't worship your own will. And right now your will is saying, I know about the Bible and the religion I chose is better than your whatever. I go to AA religiously. The definition of religion is a practice, discipline. My religion is motherfucking Alcoholics Anonymous. That's because it saves me. I believe in it. You believe in the Bible, you believe in Christianity, so do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not working for you if you're getting all pissed and anxious and like shoving it down people's throats. If it works for you, good. But is it your will? Is it your pride? Are you practicing any of these things? You know what I'm saying? Humility is the one that comes to my mind. Bro, until I shake Jesus' hand, I don't believe in him. Period. End of story. That's my choice. That's my spirituality. You know what I mean? Same thing with advertisements that tell me how to feed my dogs. Until I feed my dogs and recognize good results, I don't believe what people tell me. Do you know why? Because I'm a person. I know how messed up people are. You know why I don't trust man? Because I am a man. I have a first-hand account of how messed up we are. Nothing. What are you talking about paying the bills, bro? You're just not listening. You're talking and not listening. That's just the simple fact. Bro, where have you been? I told you a detailed description of what I thought God was. I said for 43 years I've been an agnostic, and for 7 months I believe in a God of my understanding, my will, and my life. There isn't a day that goes by I don't say God's will be done, not mine. I pray to God every morning. I say God's will be done, not mine. So where have you been? I'll tell you where you've been. You've been in your head, where all alcoholics dwell before they drink. In my opinion. These are just, most of them are just my opinions. But I'll tell you what the difference between experience and opinion is my experience has been working, and it's been working for 89 years for alcoholics around the world. So, you know what I'm saying? It's saving my life, and that's where I'm going. I put my faith in AA because AA is faithful. So you can get mad that I don't believe in your God or I don't believe what you believe all you want. You know what that is? That's your pride, that's your ego, that's your will. And all of those are mortal. All of those are dust. Same as my will, same as my pride, same as my bright ideas. They are mortal. Yeah, I just went to the 89-year Founders Day picnic. That book was written 89 years ago, bro. Hasn't changed since. And the people that wrote it, I can actually watch documentaries on with their pictures and them speaking and shit. Have you ever seen a picture or heard Jesus recording? That's my puny little argument, but it makes a lot of sense to me, at least. I'm not. I'm straight saying, well, who cares what I say? I'm mortal too. You can listen to me or you don't need to. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to leave me alone. He can throw his tantrum all he wants. I'm pretty passionate about making this my code. Honesty. Honestly, my ideas, my puny little ideas about God and all that were getting me trashed, drunk, jails, institutions, and death. So I took another's ideas. That another happened to be Bill W. and Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, it's 89 years old. Hope. I came to believe in a power greater than me that could restore me to sanity. That was Alcoholics Anonymous, and it has. The principle of surrender, aka faith. I made the leap of faith. The God that I have no idea what it looks like and I don't believe it looks like what the Catholics say or what, you know what I'm saying? But that's me. If you're the belief police, I don't even care, because I don't even respect the police anyway. A police is a man-made institution, just like Christianity. Anything man-made, I don't trust. Anything without a faith restored, anything without evidence, and dude, bro, whatever. I don't hate Christians. Leave me alone. I'm sorry that you're so pissed that, you know what I'm saying, being a Christian isn't working out for you, but you know what I mean? Don't blame me. Blame the thousands of years of corrupt men asserting their will. Yo, Bill W. wanted to assert his will. He wanted to get rich off the big book at a time, but he kept coming back to the principles, and then the rest of AA, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, bro. I choose not to trust. I choose, bro. It's my own. Whatever. I don't care if you leave me alone or not. I do recommend that you start recognizing your will, your pride, and your puny little ego. And my ego is puny too. Tell me your ego doesn't cry if you're proven wrong. Sometimes it doesn't even admit it. Just because these are my opinions, bro. You have your opinions. I have my opinions. Opinions ain't shit. Why do you think I've handed them over to the care of God as I've understand him? You can call, you know what I'm saying? You can call God him, her. It's up to you. No, I'm not emotional. I've been stoked this entire stream. I had a great day. I decided on a code that involves honesty, hope, faith, courage. Bro, this I ain't even gonna tell you the evidence, because that would involve my pride. Well, let's just say I applied it to something that my will was in line with God's will, which means I also want what I believe from evidence God wants. And from using these principles, it worked. Oh, shit. He ain't controlling shit. I ain't mad. I'm stoked. I'm very passionate about how my life is going right now. I'm very stoked about my 2020 spiritual vision. I love my spirituality. You know what I mean? It could be as soon as tomorrow. I could be, my spirituality could include Christianity and all that mess. It's not up to me. It's in God's will. If God wants me, you know what I'm saying? God's driving. I'm not. I am not stressed. I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I'm not mad. I walk everywhere with God now. It's God's will. If it was my will, I would be scared. I would be scared that you're going to smash my ideas, my opinions, and all that. You're going to prove me wrong. My pride's going to be hurt. That doesn't exist anymore. I'm walking with God. God's will is driving. If it's not God's will, I don't do it unless I'm sick in my pride and my ego, and that I've been just relieved of. I've been relieved of all that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to AA. You don't even have to believe what I tell you. I care for you as an alcoholic. I hope you find redemption. If it's through Christianity, God's will be done. I love it. But I'm still a man, and I still have opinions, which I really wish I didn't, because I really don't like opinions and will and all that. Noah says, I've only been here a few weeks and nobody can help 100% help me brother than myself. It just helps seeing someone else that has been the same as me. False. You can't help yourself. You cannot help yourself. Memorize this saying. I, Noah, get me drunk. We, AA, gets me sober. We, God, gets me sober. So I didn't help myself. For 43 years, the only time that I was redeemed is when I was sticking close to Alcoholics Anonymous and I was out of my head. All the rest of the times I was sucked back into my head, into my will, into my pride, into my ego, and it was running the show, and I drank. So, and when I pick up my year chip here in a couple months, and they're going to be like, speech, I'm going to be like, you guys are the reason I have this chip. Alcoholics Anonymous, the 89-year-old, I don't even know if you can call it an organization because it's non-organized. Institution, I don't even know. The philosophy, the principles, these 12 principles are the reason. And they weren't my principles. I wasn't born with them. They weren't my bright idea. My will doesn't even like some of these principles. Honesty. You mean when I'm trying to have sex with a girl, I got to tell her, I don't have a job. I can't tell her I'm a fighter jet pilot instead and just to have sex with her? That's not my will. Honesty's always been kind of my principle, but surrender. People don't want to surrender to God's will. They don't want to say God's will be done. We want to say God's will be done as long as I get to work on time. And if you're stuck in traffic, next time just say God's will be done. See how relaxed you feel. See how relaxed you feel when you say God's will be done. If you're stuck in traffic and that puny little, time that you think you have to make so much just turns to dust and God's will be done. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, because you're late, you find what you've always wanted, a bag full of $1 million, just because you were late. Just because you gave it to God's will, all of a sudden you got a gold tooth and shit. Because your puny little ass wanted a gold tooth. We don't know what we want. We don't know anything. I'm seeing more and more as I become awoke, as my spiritual awakening happens, I'm seeing more and more that I never knew anything. We don't know stuff. Anything you look at, I've deleted Instagram, and the only reason I'm not deleting Facebook is because I still need to sell some of my shit on Facebook Marketplace. But everything is an opinion. And opinions are trivial. Opinions are just dust in the wind. They don't mean shit. More and more I'm seeing that. AA promised that my fear of people and economic insecurity will leave me. I didn't believe him because I had all my bright ideas of why I wouldn't believe him. Guess what's happened? Not only has my fear of people have left me, but I was shown why. My ego had been dragging me to all the wrong people. My ego had been picking my girlfriends, my careers. Everything was up to me and my silly little opinions, and I ruined it all for 40 years. And guess who told me that's what was going to happen? Alcoholics Anonymous. But I didn't listen. I don't even think it was my fault that I didn't listen. I'm grateful for the spiritual awakening because it wasn't my decision. I was so desperate. G-O-D, gift of desperation. G-O-D, group of drunks. G-O-D, good orderly direction. These things just happened to me. A group of drunks happened to be where I needed to stay. Gift of desperation is what I've been gifted every time I have ended up in the gutter because of assertion of my own will. And good orderly direction, man, my direction is becoming more and more clear as I trudge this happy road to destiny. Like straight up, straight down, straight all around. Shoot. Oh, I'm also thinking about changing my tagline. Keep doing the damn thing. I'm thinking of just changing it. You know, I came up with that tagline. Keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing the damn thing. To be cool. Not to be cool, to produce a successful channel that brings in monetary value and gives me an identity and all of that. I thought I needed a tagline, so I came up with the coolest one ever. Keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing the damn thing. Well, I'm still waiting on God's message on what I'm going to change it to, but it's not going to be doing any of these things. We don't keep anything. We have no choice in whether we keep anything or not. Doing the damn thing, if I'm doing anything, it's handing my will over and doing only what my faith needs to last and not die. You hear that, digital soldier? Not everyone will support your recovery, but not everyone matters. Like I said, if Christianity is your recovery modality I support that. You know what I mean? And who am I to even not support it? But if my support means something to you, then there you go. Hey, what's up, Kimmy? Yeah, this was a this was a good one. People are saying don't get emotional and shit. I'm stoked on life. My life is unfolding, and it's not because I'm getting Ferraris or hot girlfriends or you know, cookies or, you know what I'm saying? None of that. It's because I'm being paid with a spiritual awakening. I'm walking around with God. I'm walking around comfortable, and I barely even have a part-time job. I'm walking around. I decided to do these live streams for the good of alcoholics that care to listen and not for a monetary value. Guess what started happening? Monetary value. I gave up on the monetary value, did it for the next right reason, and all of a sudden I got more paying subscribers, more paying members, more super chats. God's will be done. If this chipped tooth stays chipped and you guys see me with no tooth, guess what I'm going to be saying? God's will be done. My back is broke. My back hurts. Certain positions just feels like someone's stabbing me in my vertebrae. God's will be done. Who am I to even theorize on what God is doing with my broken back right now? Hey, what's up, digital soldier? Shubba dog. Oh, digital soldier throwing me some money. I know it's in my theme song. I know. Maybe it's God's will that I keep that. Thank you, digital soldier. I hope my little prideful opinions that do still slip through every once in a while, because I'm only a man, I'm only a human, and I you know what I mean? I'm not just instantly holier than everyone. I'm not even claiming to be holy. So if I offended you by relaying my puny little opinions, you know, I've only been in my 43 years on earth. I've only gone we've all gone different paths, so we all have different opinions. They're puny. I am realizing more and more, and I try not to state my opinions. My salvation came when I was willing to give my opinions about agnosticism, to give my opinions in not believing in a God. Do you know how ridiculous it was of me, and I see it now, to lay out reasons, my limited knowledge and reasons of why an all-powerful being exists? I've only been to 11% of planet Earth. I've never even been to Oregon, for example. I've never been to Antarctica. I've never been to the moon. I've never been to Saturn, and the universe doesn't even stop. Yet here I was, claiming that I knew enough to describe a God that doesn't exist. That's how silly opinions are. That's how silly opinions are. So, like, opinions, bro, I've been sick in my own will, disproving people on Facebook. All these science and theology posts where everybody's this, that, or the other thing. My favorite thing is to say, thanks for your opinion. Because these people are talking about these things like they're fact. Nothing pisses a person off more than pointing out the fact that it's only their opinion. Bro, my puny little opinions, that's why I don't state them, you know what I'm saying? I don't know enough about the Bible to even speak on it. I don't know enough about Christianity to even speak on it. The one thing I know about Christianity is that it makes people's lives better. That's all I need to know. If you're practicing a set of principles in the religion of Christianity and you're a good person and I look at you and I respect you, and even if, you know what I'm saying, even if I don't respect you, who am I to even dictate what's to respect and what's not? That's what I'm saying is, I am becoming smaller and smaller and less significant than you. I am becoming less significant than my fellows. I am realizing my own insignificance in comparison to you, people, God, Earth, the universe. I am realizing that I know nothing. I'm not, if it's God's will that I do know something, like AA is the way, is what I do know. You know what I mean? I'm not going to force it down your throat. If you have another way that works for you, that's great. If you need to get drunk 17 more times before you discover AA, I got drunk 1,700 times before I discovered AA. I knew AA was the way when I was 18, yet I drank for the next 25 some years because of my own will. Even when I was in AA 8 years ago, I was saying, I'm not going to give my will to God, but I'll do my own version of it. Well, guess what? My own version was dust in the wind. It wasn't shit. Because I ain't shit. And some of you will say, don't insult yourself like that. I'm just saying. It's an observation. Compared to divinity, compared to the knowledge of the ages, compared to the truth, my opinions ain't shit. You know what I mean? Here I am giving you my opinions about Catholicism and shit, and there's like billions of Catholics that agree otherwise or disagree otherwise. Who am I? I'm one person thinking I'm better than all these? No. That is a part of me that is fading. That is a part of me that is shrinking. It's becoming right-sized. I am becoming right-sized. Me and my ego are becoming right-sized. Ego is God-given, or at least that's what was told to me. I happen to believe it. Ego has a purpose. Our ego is a survival mechanism. Our ego accomplishes things. But when an ego gets out of control, starts running the show, when an ego gets way too big for my own britches, as they say, it'll get me drunk, jails, institutions, death. And on the way to all those, I'll be cursing you, I'll be hurting you, emotionally or physically. I'll be hurting people, getting myself hurt, tearing shit up on my way out. There's one thing I'm dedicating my life to from this point on, because I have faith that it is the way. And that one thing is the 12 things that are the principles of Alcoholics Anonymous: honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, love, responsibility or spirituality, or no, responsibility or perseverance, discipline, awareness or spirituality, and service. I was neither a nerd or a cool kid in school. I was like my own thing because I insisted that my way was the only way. The cool kids didn't know shit. The nerds didn't know shit. Nobody knows shit but me. So I was an outcast. I was smoking weed and drinking Robitussin in the ball pen, skipping school. And I spent 5 years in high school, barely made it. I didn't go to prom. You know why? Because I thought I knew best. My will was running the show. Well, guess what? I wish I wasn't so prideful. I wasn't so me. And I wish I went to prom. I wish I made it in 4 years. Who knows what I could have been? I showed up drunk to football practice. I was a decent basketball player, but what did I do? I destroyed the bathroom to one of the churches we were playing in and sprayed the fire extinguisher everywhere because that was my release of because I thought I knew what was up. I would be interested in your opinions. I can answer any questions or comments and won't be offended. I mean, my opinions, I'm going less and less. First of all, people take opinions too seriously. We've been conditioned to take opinions too seriously, aka the Super Bowl must be watched. You know what I mean? Because of all the commercials. You're not American if you don't like football, because of all the commercials. So, opinions ain't shit. But in my limited perception, things like very obvious reasons that spirit, I don't want to talk about it. But it seems to me this is the main point. Mankind, that's man and woman, mankind wrote the rules. I don't trust that 2024 years have gone by without mankind's corruptness running the show. Why don't I trust that? Because I'm a man. I'm a mankind. And it takes humility, honestness, courage. It takes all these principles, practice of them constantly to stay out of asserting my will. So before I know it, I'm editing the Bible to say, you know what? Only men are in charge. Because my single opinion, maybe I got cheated on or something. Maybe my girlfriend went for Paul instead of me. And I went in one night and changed the Bible and said, you know what? God just wrote that there's no women involved. You know what I mean? That's why I take nothing on man's word. I take nothing on man's word. There has to be either evidence, you know what I mean? When these dog commercials come up, dude, for example, man will tell you that this is premium dog food. Facts will tell you otherwise. Man posts the word premium on it, wholesome, natural, all natural this, all natural that. Facts in the ingredients and facts in the lab analysis will tell you different. It's crap. That's just an example. Mankind is corrupt. I am one of them. So instead of living on my will, I'm living on these 12 principles. That's the subject of this stream. This is now my code. Honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, brotherly love, and that includes the sisters too. Responsibility, discipline, spirituality, and service. And there has been enough evidence for this cynic to put my faith directly in the 12 principles of AA, and that's my stream. I don't pretend to have any kind of solid argument against Catholics or Christianity or anything else that makes life better for someone. I don't pretend anymore that I do. That's all I was doing, was pretending that I happen to know the only thing that millions of other people don't know, and that makes me super smart and super cool, and this is why my idea rocks. God gave me this tongue that's able to sound like this argument is the best. You know what I'm saying? And I'm using it for dirty work. That's my will. I'm no longer on my will. I'm on these 12 principles. That's my word. And let me try to come up with a new tagline, because my will came up with that old tagline. How about God's will be done? Peace. God's will, not my will, be done. Peace.